Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. We are huddling together for warmth.
Yes, it's a very cosy Chateau Chat this afternoon.
It is chilly. It's chilly. And the rain, it will not stop raining.
It's just non-stop. It's just so depressing. It really is.
I just saw the alert pop up on your phone of severe flood warning.
It's just what we need. Got up this morning and sort of down that way, which is the northern end of the chateau. The field sort of descends towards the river Vendee, and the river has broken its banks. It does every year, and creates sort of like a little lake, which you took the dogs out to.
Yeah, the dogs loved it. Our new water feature. They were having a nice paddle. I took them out. There was a gap when it stopped raining for about 5 minutes, and they had a lovely paddle, and they were a bit confused as to why the lawn was suddenly pond, but it's not stopping. But touch wood, we're okay. The roof seems to be okay. So
I went up to the attic today because we've been doing some filming up there. This week's sort of like main vlog is a tour of the attic,
which is more interesting than it sounds.
Yeah, I mean, as you can imagine, it's absolutely gigantic. I mean, why do I need to explain the fact that it runs the whole length of the house? No, well, it does.
It does, weirdly, yeah.
And it's quite interesting because I guess, that's where the staff used to have their quarters. Yeah,
so there's quite a few what were bedrooms up there, and then a couple of big rooms that we don't know what they were used for. It's interesting.
I guess, I don't know, maybe it was just sort of like where they would hang out in the evening.
Yeah.
I would have thought.
Yeah. Who knows?
Playing ping pong.
Le ping pong.
Le 19th century ping pong. And what else has been happening?
Well, I'm glad everybody was entertained by us trying to do some plastering. There was a lot of editing in there. You didn't hear all the swearing and the splatting as bits of it just landed on the floor.
No, it didn't. It never landed on the floor.
It did land on the floor. I walked in a great big clump of it.
Okay, I dropped one bit. I dropped one bit about that big on the floor. And Rob just had a go at me. He said, "Look, you're not supposed to put it on the floor." Well, I know I'm not supposed to put it on the floor, Rob, but this is the first time I've ever done it.
But he'd sort of exactly worked out how much he needed, and then when we were getting to the last bit, he was short just the amount that had landed on the floor.
Yeah, he can make his opinion known. Yeah. We're running out of plaster now, he said.
Because it's on the floor.
Because someone drops it. Like a tiny bit, and he's having a go at me.
It was fun though.
Teachers,
it was fun.
I've always loved teachers, haven't you?
I'm not sure we're ready to have a go on our own yet, but maybe.
Well, I was thinking about how on earth do you practice doing something like that? And it occurred to me that if we ever wanted to do it, we could do it on the back stairs, the walls on the back stairs. We could practice there because nobody ever's going to see that.
But we'll know every time we walk up the back stairs to bed.
But where we start would be just dreadful, and then it just gradually.
As you get further up, it gets better.
Maybe we should start at the top.
Yes.
Start at the top and then work down. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, and then if anybody visits, we can go, well, this is where we started learning how to plaster, and then we got it and down there, and yeah.
Well, we've got enough rooms in here. If we start doing the bedrooms, by the time we get down here.
No, but the bedrooms, people go in the bedrooms.
Yeah.
To practice it somewhere where nobody goes.
Maybe we should just get Rob back.
Yeah,
we'll just get Rob back. I think that's the easiest.
I'm up for an easy life. Somebody, here's a comment. Somebody called Brioche Pépite commented, why don't you use materials you'd find in France?
Yeah, because we're using British plaster.
Yeah, now, I asked Rob about that because I know that a lot of plaster is actually manufactured in France by an enormous French company called Saint-Gobain. And he said, yeah, it is made by the French company, but you can't buy it in France. It's called British Gypsum. And funny enough, you can only buy it in the UK, and he imports it. And I think, it's his decision. I mean, he's the master at this. And also, you get the impression that doing something like that, you get to know your material that you're working with. And he was telling me that French plaster comes in many different forms, but none of which, this is technical term, goes off in the same way that British gypsum does. So it's interesting, it's entirely up to him. I'm not going to dictate to him what he should be wearing. Wearing? Using, but I'm not going to tell him what to wear either.
But also they don't actually tend to plaster and skim the walls here like he was doing. They tend to just put the plasterboard up, then tape the joins, make that bit good, and
fill it and sand it.
And there you go. But we both really like the finish of a completely plastered wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just think it looks really nice when you paint it.
Yeah, it was interesting because our electrician Aurélien was there at the time, and he does a lot of work on new builds as well. And he was absolutely aghast. He was like, just standing there, just watching Rob working. And he was just, he was almost lost for words. He said, it's extraordinary. And it seems to make so much more sense than just, boarding and taping.
Well, by the time you tape up all the joints, you might as well just skim up
and also a hell of a lot more mess, with the sanding of when you're filling where the plaster, God, I can't speak, my brain's gone, where the tape is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sanding, a lot of dust generated, and you just think,
all the edges. Whereas now we've got a really nice, clean edge, like where it butts up to the woodwork that goes around the lower half. We've got a really nice, clean edge at the bottom and at the top to the ceiling. It looks very smart, although we still haven't decided on the colour that we're going to paint it yet.
Oh, I thought we had. I've decided.
Oh, you've decided? Care to share?
No, it's my secret.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
But so really, in answer to Bouilloche Repeat, we love to use French stuff. It's made by a French company. So what more would you want? And given the opportunity, we will. But if it doesn't exist, doesn't exist. And
money, money comes into it as well.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
It's a balance between wanting to do things in a very traditional way, but also having to be able to live
Yeah.
here and get it done in our lifetimes.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, the case in point is we're looking into having some thermostatic valves fitted to our ancient radiators. So you can imagine that that's a job in itself. So the actual pipes to the radiators, that diameter, and the normal pipes to a modern radiator are that diameter. So there's a fair amount of work that needs to be done, especially if it's so ancient. And when you look at the thermostatic valves that you would put on a radiator, and if you want to be able to control them, which we want to be able to, because it's such an enormous place, it's almost like every room needs to be a zone. The only way to do it is with, things that are controlled by Wi-Fi. And I'm afraid if you try and buy them here in France, they're about €100 per head. And if you buy them from that very large country that makes everything, they are a quarter of the price, and there's no decision to be made other than you have to go for, and it's very high quality, proven and tested, and you just, you're led by that,
Yeah, for the quantity that we need of everything.
Yeah.
We have to buy in bulk, and we have to find the most affordable solutions for everything. Because with all the will in the world, even if you had tons and tons of money to spend on this place, there's still just a lot of everything. Anyway, we'll get there.
We'll get there. And our friend Sabine Schweden comments. I would not have thought you were such a daredevil to try plastering. I'm not scared of vampires, tax declarations, and Paris city traffic, but plastering will always stay a mystery to me. You have my deepest respect, and I bow in admiration. You really don't need to bow. However, I have driven around L'Étoile in Paris, I think it was about 5 times without coming off it, around the Arc de Triomphe, which is probably the most entertaining roundabout in the world.
It's terrifying because it's the one roundabout where they have the rule that you have to give way to anybody. Right. Yeah, so anybody coming on to the roundabout has the right of way.
But nobody follows the rules.
It's just insane. It's absolutely bonkers.
But the trouble is that it used to be that the Code de la Route here, you would, if you were on a main carriageway in France, you would always have to give way to the right. So even somebody driving out of like a little lane to the right, you would have to slow down to let them, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And so, they've obviously come to their senses and now have give way signs. But yeah, I don't know whether that still applies at L'Étoile. I have no idea. But I know it did apply when we went round. I went round once and went, go on, let's do it again. Let's go faster this time.
How do we get
It was great. Yeah, watch out! Oh, anyway.
Lots of French swearing as well.
Yeah, French swearing and lots of memories, despite not being Italy, of the Italian job.
I think that's how I learned.
Oh, we were in a Mini.
We were in a Mini,
weren't we?
Mini.
Yeah.
And you taught me to drive in Fred, my classic Mini.
Yeah.
And that's how I first started learning French, because I first started learning through swearing at traffic. That's Lionel's lessons are how to swear in French at other road users.
Well, it's great because you could do that in the UK. You could swear at people in French, right? So if somebody swears at you through like a closed car window, you can usually work out what they're saying by lip reading, right? But if you do it in French, so you go,
I think they can get by your face, though. You've not got a big smile on your face as your...
I know, sometimes I would do that. I would smile at them and go, whatever. Anyway, I won't swear.
Anyway, we're much too polite. And actually, around here, there's no traffic at all, so we don't really have that problem anymore.
So I'm losing my French. That's terrible, isn't it? Absolutely terrible.
Somebody put a lovely comment about when we cozied up to watch TV and we were giving the dogs carrots. Mimi especially is obsessed with carrots. If you've got a dog, especially a Cocker Spaniel, you have to give them carrots to munch on because she just absolutely loves them. She is obsessed. But this person mentioned freezing them first.
Well, it's like giving them a lolly.
Yeah.
Lolly, I don't understand.
Not really the word.
Americans won't understand lolly, will they?
What's it in America?
I don't know.
Like a popsicle.
That's the one.
There you go.
A natural American, my wife.
Yeah, so that would be like extra country, but then it's so cold at the moment. I think we need to maybe do the opposite. Maybe we cook them.
I think we keep that for summer.
Yeah, warmed carrots for the winter.
Summer. But she has excellent teeth, and she can see for miles at night with her carrots.
Yep.
Which is very useful if you're a dog. And what else did we do? Oh yeah, so we was somebody commented beautifully. Where was it? I've lost it. Anyway, about us sitting down and watching TV and watching our Chateau Life, which I have to say was a moment of brilliance on my part.
We don't actually do that. We're not that obsessed. We don't bump the views up by just sitting there and watching it ourselves.
Yes, we watch it one after the other every evening just to get the number of hours up and views. Yeah. No, we really don't. Watched Downton Abbey.
Watch the last one.
We watched the last one. We've watched all of them. We've binge watched Downton Abbey.
I don't know if we should be embarrassed about this.
No, it's great. It's fantastic production.
It was great. Anyway, looking forward. They're doing a film. They're doing another film.
I know. Can't wait. No Maggie Smith, sadly.
No Maggie Smith.
Which is
sadly.
very sad.
I think if
Brilliant
they...
actress.
we should put the house up for a filming location.
Well, we should, but we've had this conversation so many times before that, I mean, we are too far away from a main conurbation, i.e. Paris, which is where it all happens. And when you've got film crews that number, anything from like 10 to 50 people, they have to put them up somewhere, and all the lighting trucks have to turn up and all the rest of it, and it just, it's too far for them.
I know, that's a shame.
Which is a great shame.
That'd be great fun. Maybe there'll be something where they just can't find anything near to Paris, and this is exactly what they need. Yeah,
well, I'm sure that will happen, yeah. Incidentally.
I can dream.
No, it'd be great. Well, because I have some experience of this in my my previous life. The house I used to live in London was one of the sets in Love Actually, and it was actually Alan Rickman and Emma Thompson's house in Love Actually. And I can remember when my little girls were very small, and literally the house was completely taken over by human beings in the movie industry. And whenever they would see us, somebody would shout, "Owner's here!" And you go, "Oh God!" And then it's almost like they would all suddenly behave. The most extraordinary. I mean, they came in. They spent 2 weeks to shoot for 3 days. They repainted everything. They panelled our bedroom, and then they came back and they pulled all the panelling off. I don't know why we told them to do that, because it would have been quite nice to keep it. I know, absolutely. Well, because it was proper panelling. Repainted everything. They moved all our belongings out.
Sorry. My alarm's going to put the bins out, and I really don't want to put the bins out.
I only work with professionals, Quiet on set. Phones off.
Sorry. I don't want to put the bin out in this weather anyway. I was just going to get washed away.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so that was my little story about Love Actually. It was very entertaining. But we had pretty much the whole house redecorated at the cost of the film company.
Okay, then I definitely want to put this on. That would be great.
Do you think you can do about plumbing?
Yeah. I think you need to use all of the rooms, don't you? And the outbuildings.
All of the rooms.
You definitely need to use the
the loos are in terrible condition.
Yeah.
You're going to have to update those.
What about the gardens? You need to do some scenes in the garden too.
Yeah, a bit of landscaping while you're at it. Why not?
We'll work on that. I think that's a good idea.
And what else are we going to say? Yes, there's a lady called Linda Mounts who has a number, but I shan't mention it. And she says, "I've gone through some of your old videos, but can't find where you talk about your plans for the chateau, B&B, weddings, gîte. I'm worried because if you don't like DIY and don't have any tools, and a mention of not much money in the wallet, how are you going to renovate the whole place?" Very good question.
Very good question. We haven't thought about this.
Well, what are we going to do?
No, I'm sure we've talked about this before in our Chateau Chats, but we don't want to do B&B or gîtes, but we would like to do some events, sort of summer events, garden parties, music, antiques fairs, exhibitions, stuff like that.
Well, and I was talking to our friend Christian about the possibility of doing a concours d'élégance, which is where you have lots of classic, not necessarily vintage cars, but classic cars, all parked up on the front lawn.
With Fred in the middle, pride of place.
Fred in the middle. You should turn him into a hot dog stand. Look at the horror on her face, it's just fantastic. It's so easy. And because I'd love to do something like that.
That would be fun.
Especially, in particular, if you could get people to dress up.
I'm going to turn your car into the hot dog stand.
Oh, that's easy. It's electric, it's got a plug. You can plug a little hot water heater in there, no problem. Yeah, I think it would feel more at home being a hot dog stand. Anyway, I'd love to do concours d'élégance, which would be fantastic. Nice. And have a little quartet playing something in the background.
Yeah,
really
I can imagine. And in our courtyard here, I can imagine nice music, summer's evening, lovely music, drinks, nibbles,
Yeah,
Chat.
Fabulous.
I think that would be really nice.
And what else are we doing? So we are, hopefully tomorrow we will be filming somewhere where we can reveal. I don't know if any of you saw the episode where we were going through our treasures. It was in the episode about the dépendance, the outhouses, and we were sitting in the chapel, and there was one framed picture that we found of a gentleman with a little girl on his lap.
Could be a boy.
We don't know. Could be a boy. So we talked about that, and some good friends of ours who have a chateau as well recognised him. So hopefully we are going to be able to go and film tomorrow with him and talk to him about his extraordinary family that dates back forever.
Long way. Well, weather permitting.
Weather permitting, yes, absolutely. And with a bit of luck, we'll be able to reveal the identity of this gentleman in this picture. And also the little girl or little boy. Not quite sure
might to work out
how. So in essence, we don't want to. We would prefer not to turn a chateau into a business. So to be honest with you, that's why we're doing this. We're hoping that we will get so many viewers who are interested in us, because we are clearly such interesting people. And we get so many views that YouTube will put lots of advertising on our videos, and we will be able to raise enough money to slowly but surely renovate this place. If we don't, then we'll move on.
Yeah,
which we don't want to do.
Get a bungalow somewhere. But we're going to give it a go first.
Very small bungalow.
It'd be a lot easier. It'd be a lot easier.
Yeah, a lot easier. So that's it for this week, folks.
Yeah. Stay safe wherever you are. I know we have lots of people in America watching, so if you're in Florida, I hope you are tucked up safe and sound somewhere.
Yeah, I do too. It looks absolutely dreadful what you're going through. Just frightening. Having a storm of that magnitude, it must be really, really frightening. So God bless to a lot of you, and I hope you're doing well. And we'll see you on
Sunday.
On Sunday with the next episode. Yeah. Take care. See you soon.
Where's the cake?
Bye.
I've only got tea. Where's the cake?
Oh, sorry. I forgot the cake. Have we still got some?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Bye. Getting cake.